podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Hello, and welcome to episode 349 of We're Still in Lockdown, and it's too fucking hot, and I don't like it. I want it to go away. Film Bastards. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by...
Becky Foster. Hello, everyone.
I'm Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Coming up on this week's show, and I hope that everyone is safe and well, incidentally, should say that.
Yes.
Stay safe, keep your distance, you know, do all the fucking common sense things that apparently you don't have to do, but you probably fucking should. So, coming up this week, we have got reviews of a random Kumail Nanjiani double with the Netflix release that came out last week, was supposed to be coming out in cinemas, but Netflix bought it, The Lovebirds. And we're going to do a bit of a catch-up review of his team up with Dave Bautista from last year, Stuber. We've also got the iTunes 99p rental of the week, Kevin Costner's The Postman. We've got news. I don't know whether we've got trailers. I don't think I do.
We don't have any trailers now.
No.
There
wasn't.
Watch them.
What? What was that?
I've just looked. There's
No,
Vienna
okay.
Phantoms
No.
and Irresistible.
Irresistible trailer's been out for ages. Don't know why it's on there.
Have it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
We've watched it. You have?
It's clearly very memorable then.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, we'll have some what we watch. We got some questions and whatnot as well. I said this on the Patreon bit, but apologies, patrons. Either my Mac or Patreon is being a dick and is basically refusing to upload the Cats commentary. I'm trying to sort it out. I promise you I'm trying. But it's being a dick, but hopefully that'll be coming or will have come by the time this is out.
Yeah. The next maximum damage is in the bag. I just need to send it across to Ian.
Good stuff.
It's available to go. Ready to go?
Good stuff. Nolan chat's going to continue at some point. I don't know. I kind of my hesitancy with Nolan chat is I feel like the minute we record another one, they're going to announce that it's been delayed till December.
Yeah, it is. It is at the moment. It's like we don't want to be responsible for Tenet getting cancelled.
No, yeah, quite. So it may well. It's just if we can get through the next couple of weeks, and the R rate hasn't gone mental, and cinemas are still like it's all systems go, then if like I don't know, like if I've got to record some solo or something like that, then so be it. But we will get some Nolan chat out there. It just after Ian's Guide to Bondage, I'm not entirely sure my heart can take it. So, so yes, there will be Nolan chat at some point. But patreon.com/Film Bastards, $2 a month. There has been a good chunk of extra content over the last couple of weeks. There was about a half hour or so section of Mark and I talking about the Snyder Cut, which I'm going to keep exclusive to the Patreon bit. Kind of feels like it's probably old news now anyway. So there is stuff there. So news. There is news. So Apple TV have suddenly gone Ryan Charlie big bananas with a couple of stories this week. Unconfirmed reports that they're going to be partnering with Lionsgate on the Hunger Games prequel. Lionsgate probably signing the deal and then realizing, oh shit, hang on a second, no one saw that last Hunger Games film. What have we done? But yeah, teaming with Apple on that. But what has been confirmed, Martin Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon, $200 million budget.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Will be released theatrically by Paramount and then we'll be going to Apple TV Plus with Apple basically co-financing the production. The terms of the deal essentially mean that Paramount get to release it. They get fuck all of the back end, but they get to have their name on it. And obviously, if it's a big Oscar player, then they get all the prestige from that. And Apple get something big for their streaming service.
Yep.
I suppose the question really, though, is this film's probably a couple years away. Is Apple TV Plus still going to be like a viable concern by that point?
I think that they've decided, I think that, right, if we're going to do this, we've got to start doing it a little bit right now.
Yeah, they've phoned it in.
They've phoned it in, and I think they've gone, right, well, we don't want to, they've not wanted to go out there and splash a lot of cash and buy a load of properties, to have there. So I think now they're looking at going, right, we need to start being a bit more proactive. We're heading towards, it almost been a year. And they've probably looked at it and gone, right, how many people have actually signed up and are paying for it rather than people who have just got it for free and have gone, there's 6 people paying for it. And so I think they've gone, right, we need to pull our finger out a little bit. The interesting thing there is, again, that Apple have jumped in and are going to use this as a prestige thing. And it's very interesting that that's what they're going for. But yeah, it is going to be, this film isn't going to be out next year. It's going to be a good couple of years before we actually see this movie, because they've not started production of it yet. Scorsese famously takes ages to edit these big projects that he does. The Irishman was a year late.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fascinating to see what Apple do, like you say, within the next 6 to 8 months. Not about stuff that they're going to do that's going to be on their platform, stuff that is going to drop immediately on their platform. It's all and good buying up these movies or financing these movies. They need to start populating that place very, very soon.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Quite. It kind of feels like these are the kinds of deals that they should have been making like a year ago or 2 years ago. I mean, good luck to them. I like my Apple products. I'm a bit of an Apple fanboy. I think Tim Cook is generally a force for good in the world. Or at least he says the right things anyway, and he seems to put a fair few of them into action. So I like me some Apple, and it just, apart, what else are they going to have? They've got the new Sofia Coppola film. That's about all they've got at the moment. There's probably a bunch of unannounced shit, but I get the feeling that maybe if the world wasn't upside down and film festivals were happening, that they would have gone in with big old fucking dick swinging huge balls into Cannes, and God, we'll have this, we'll have this, we'll have this, we'll have this. Yes, France, you can have your theatrical release. Don't worry about that. We just want our name on it and, release it on Apple TV when we can. But they've been unable to do that. I don't know. It's interesting. And the fact that Netflix apparently basically went, nah, you're all right. I wonder what the cause of that was. I mean, is it just like they've already been in the massive budget Scorsese game, and for what? You know what I mean? It's did The Irishman win any Oscars? I don't think it did it?
It didn't. I think it's more that they've done that, and it was. I think it's a lot of money, and I think maybe they've just gone, do you know what? There's a possibility that Apple have just come in and said, look, we'll give you more, and outbid them.
Yeah. No, I mean, no, quite. It's just $200 million, man. Like that's a spicy meatball. But fair fucking play to Scorsese. I mean, I was kind of sounding like The Irishman was bad there. Fucking adored The Irishman. You know, it's just, what did it do for Netflix? I mean, it's going to be coming to Criterion Blu-ray at some point. Maybe they can try and recoup some money from that for the 200 people who buy that. You know, we'll see. We'll see. It feels like too little, too late for me. But I could be laughing on the other side of my face come 6 months' time when they bought everything that plays Toronto.
Yep.
Also, Ryan Gosling is to star in a new version of The Wolfman, which is being touted as kind of in the style of the Blumhouse Invisible Man, in that it's going to be, you know, taking the Wolfman but telling things in a way that you don't expect. I mean, obviously we had the Joe Johnston film from about a decade ago now, which was originally going to be... what was the story on that? Did Mark Romanek start filming that and then he dropped out? Or was he like in pre-pro and then dropped out and then Joe Johnston took over?
I think he'd started filming. Sure.
Yeah. Something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, it's that's interesting. So I don't think they've announced the director on this yet, have they? So Corey Finley, who directed that Hugh Jackman one, Bad Education, that hasn't come out over here yet, he's like being kind of like strongly rumored to be the director, but it's not been confirmed yet. Based on an original pitch by Ryan Gosling, and I think he was looking at it potentially to direct kind of early on as well. I wonder if the Universal execs were like, have you directed anything before, Ryan? And he was like, I don't know what the right answer to this question is. And then they managed to see Lost River and then maybe went, no. That was the only film he's directed so far, wasn't it, I believe? Yeah, it's an interesting bit of work, that. But, yeah.
Lost River will have a bit of it'll have a bit of a reevaluation at some point in a few years' time.
I really liked it. We've watched that a couple of times, haven't we?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched that with Donna back in the day, and it was. I remember liking it as well. But this is said to be like apparently the pitch is kind of Nightcrawler with a supernatural twist. I don't know, man. If it's going to be Ryan Gosling like trying to become like Charlie Big Bananas by killing all his competition as a werewolf, kind of think I'm up for that.
I am very up for
that. Yeah. We'll see. We didn't talk about a couple of. I don't think we talked about Lynn Shelton or Fred Willard last week, did we?
Didn't know.
No. Yeah. Fucking hell. Like Lynn Shelton, like 52, I want to say she was. Interesting director, kind of was doing a lot more TV stuff. But Your Sister's Sister was good, and I think Hump Day was pretty solid as well. Just one of those ones.
Really like Hump Day.
Yeah, no, quite. I mean, it's one of those ones where you kind of thought you'd just hear, Lynn Shelton's got a new one out. That's interesting for like years to come, and then bang, Blood Disorder gone. Fucking horrible.
I remember the latest thing she did, that Little Fires Everywhere.
Yeah.
With, is it Reese Witherspoon, isn't it? I've heard quite a lot of good stuff about that.
Yeah, Donna really liked that. She like mainlined it in like 1 or 2 days.
It's just come out on Prime, is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's got Reese Witherspoon and it's TV, so
yeah.
It's not your
no, just no. But yeah, no, quite. I mean, that's the thing. Like, so she's done like quite a lot of TV work. She did Glow, which starred Marc Maron. She was in a relationship with, and like I say, it just kind of felt like at some point, was she going to make a film that was going to be like fucking hell, and then get her into the award season conversation, then see her kind of progress down that road, and it just wasn't to be. It's very, very sad.
It's a shame. It would have been interesting. Like I say, it was interesting to see where she was going.
Quite. And Fred Willard, I mean, fair play. The guy had a life. He wasn't looking particularly well in his last appearances. He was in the last season of Modern Family. I think he's in one episode of that new Space Force, the Netflix Steve Carell thing. But yeah, I mean, hell of a fucking career. He was like one of the best things in pretty much everything he was in.
Yeah, he was one of those guys where when he turned up, you were essentially waiting for him to do something really funny.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. But I suppose that's from a couple weeks back now. But I thought I should touch on that. Okay, so sorry, Bex.
Was it just old age with him? Because he was like 86, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think it was old age rather than anything sinister.
Yeah, quite. Not COVID or anything like that, which is good. Okay, so no trailers this week, as we said. So let's talk some The Lovebirds. Sue, this is directed by Michael Showalter and stars Kumail Nanjiani. It looks like maybe about halfway into his training for the Eternals, where I don't know, like you look at him compared to like how he is in Stuber, and like he's just that, like, I don't know, maybe like 20% more jacked.
Yeah.
It's it's interesting. So stars Kumail Nanjiani, Issa Rae, Paul Sparks, Anna Camp, Kyle Bornheimer, and others. And so this is the story of a couple who are basically breaking up. They have kind of just had the conversation where they've decided to break up, and find themselves in a bit of a tangled web when a guy claiming to be a police detective basically apprehends their vehicle and then runs a cyclist over multiple times. And they basically have to try. I don't know. It's difficult. What are they trying to do? They're
on the run, but trying to clear their names by finding out who the guy is that's murdered the guy on a bicycle, who Mustache is, and who Bicycle is.
Yeah, they're trying to solve it so that they're not.
Yeah, so they can clear their own names.
There we go. It's I don't know. It was a plot that I found slightly hard to keep track of, but it might just be because I had a few drinks. Or maybe not. I don't know. Becky, what did you think of The Lovebirds?
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one to kind of keep track of. I think partly because, and don't get me wrong, I didn't dislike it, but it doesn't have the substance to keep your attention the whole time. If that makes sense, like it's not weighty enough. It's very flimsy. But it's fun. I mean, we watched this and Stuber both on like Sunday during the day, didn't we? It was a good Sunday movie. It has some weird pivots in it. There's some very odd moments. The Eyes Wide Shut Club is a bit strange. The fact that she's so into the fucking orgy is always funny.
I thought that was pretty strong.
The unicorn outfit as well. That was a weird little thing. Funny, but like she was already wearing the unicorn t-shirt and the sparkly leggings. I feel like the hoodie, the unicorn hoodie, was overkill.
I feel like she didn't know that it had a unicorn thing on the hood when she bought it, and it just kept on putting the hood up, but didn't know it had the unicorn thing on it.
But yeah, it's fun enough and it's nice enough, and all the loose ends get tied up by the end and stuff, and it's good Sunday viewing is what I would say for it.
Mark?
I had a ball with it. I laughed an awful lot. If a comedy ever, Kermo's done this thing for years, and I kind of agree with it and don't agree with it at the same time. In that a comedy can be called great if it can make you laugh a certain amount of times. I think a comedy, it depends on what this comedy is trying to make you laugh consistently through it, and it does. But it also it managed to be a sort of thing that had a pause comedy for me. So a moment where I actually had to pause the movie because I was laughing too much during it. And it was at the line, that's why I can't be a professional boxer, because I bleed too much. Fucking killed me. It absolutely fucking killed me. Two leads that were their little arguments where they kept on going off in a little just like curves in the middle of an argument, like the orgy argument they have at the start, and it's like, I mean, that's you're describing as a gangbang, not an orgy. It's like, well, and it's with stuff like that. I think it's any couple will look at that and go, that is relatable. That is highly relatable.
People that don't know how to argue properly.
Yeah. We do that frequently when we're arguing, or just pick on each other, like really small things.
We don't argue.
We do. We bicker. But yeah, two leads who I think are really charismatic, hold it together, are really fun to be around, and when you're spending the entire movie with them, for them to be fun to be around is absolutely paramount. I think that the part of the I agree that the story's a little bit chaotic to go around. I think that is partially it's supposed to be like that because it's supposed to show that they don't really that they're just they're just riding on the cusp of all of this. But I also do like the whole I like a all happens in one night movie.
Yeah. It's they're very relatable characters as well. Like that is a good point that you made there. That when they are kind of sort of having a bit of a bickery argument, and then there's like an aside, which like there are times that we'll be like not arguing about something, but like discussing with vigor something, and it'll be like, oh, by the way, did you get milk while you're out? And like there's just little asides, and they do that kind of thing. And the fucking ending that was awesome. Them just arguing while doing the greatest race or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Was funny. That's what we would be like if we were doing something like that.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, Mark? Hurry up.
What did you think, Ian?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was all right. My big problem with it is just production value. It doesn't look like a film that would be getting a fucking cinema release. It
looks like a Netflix film.
Yes, it does. And yet it was originally made by Paramount to be released in cinemas. It looks so fucking flat. There's really no interesting visual moment at all. I mean, Michael Showalter is a bit of a like cranks them out comedy guy, and I don't know, like it's comedy's one of those genres where it's almost like people think you can just stick a camera down, and as long as people are funny in front of the camera, then that's absolutely fine. And I don't know, like there are moments in this that could have had some impressive visual stuff in there. There are car chases and whatnot. There is some action. But I mean, even the Eyes Wide Shut bit. I mean, all it is like wide shot of people in masks, camera doesn't move, close-ups of those two, or just kind of like a wide shot of what's going on stage, and that's it. There's nothing that interesting going on visually, but it is funny enough. I had a decent time watching it, but I mean it's like so the guy directed the Big Sick as well, but again, I mean that's more a drama But again, that's not a particularly visually sumptuous looking film either. I don't know. It didn't really get me going in that way, which is a shame. I mean, like, you even look at something like Stuber, and that felt more like a film to me. This felt like a TV comedy that somehow was going to be released theatrically as a film. And I suppose it's if it was just a Netflix film, I probably wouldn't have that. Like, I mean, I don't know, that The Wrong Missy, the David Spade one, like, I'll probably end up watching that at some fucking point. And you're not going to have me having a go at the visuals of that, because it's a fucking it's a Netflix film, and it's not like The Irishman or Roma. It's speech marks a Netflix film. This is a Netflix film that somehow it wasn't originally a Netflix film. But yeah, I mean, Issa Rae, very funny. Kumail Nanjiani, very funny. They got good chemistry together. Yeah, it was a perfectly good enough Saturday night, and if that's damning it with faint praise, then fair enough.
No, I think that's a perfectly fair comment. It's a very, very watchable movie.
Yeah.
I found. I think the only way you'd struggle to dislike it, not necessarily really think it's fantastic, like that. The only way you dislike it is if you go into it knowing that it's not your thing.
Yeah.
You know, but it is a perfect date movie.
It would be a good date movie.
It's a great date movie, and that's where they'd have looked for the cinematic thing, would have been the date movie angle. But whether or not that works, but I do agree with you. It to say it's not a Netflix made movie, it's a Netflix bought movie. It looks so much like a Netflix movie.
It absolutely does. Yeah.
It really, really put me off just all the way through. It was just do something interesting visually. Like, you're doing enough in terms of the comedy and whatnot, but I don't know, do more. Yeah. I think it's because, you know, I watched Stuber the day before, and Stuber kind of had more going for it, I thought, even though, you know, it's a two-hander comedy starring Kumail Nanjiani. So yeah, but I mean, definitely not shit.
Yeah, definitely not shit.
Yeah, Bex.
Yeah, definitely not shit. It was perfect Sunday movie.
Our audience polls, definitely not shit 50% and touching cloth 50%.
Fair enough. Okay, so
have you ever wondered what so-called family films will scar your kids forever?
Putting 4 and 5-year-olds in front of this movie, it's like, if they didn't know what death was before this, they're going to know it after it.
They're going to know it after it, and they're going to be freaking terrified.
And they're going to be questioning you.
Yeah.
Or do you have the slight suspicion that your loved one has a cold, dead heart?
Yeah, the Dark Knight has got like all the orphans and like, oh no, we're going to die. They did not build up those orphans at all. In my head, it's like, kill them.
Then look no further. The His Film Her Movie podcast is the show for you. It's the movie podcast that celebrates the contrasting cinematic tastes of its hosts. So join Jordan and Lauren every week on their unique journey through the land of the silver screen. So if you're looking for a few laughs, some fun film related chat, then get involved. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you a craft beer junkie?
Do you eagerly anticipate the freshest IPA release from your local craft brewer?
Do you check in every beer you've ever had on Untappd?
Do you know the difference between a Belgian triple and a Berliner Weisse?
Then do we have a podcast for you? What's Untappd podcast gives you beer reviews, interviews with brewers, behind the scenes access to beer festivals, games, and more. Whether you're a craft beer junkie or new to the world of craft brewing, What's on Tap podcast is something for you.
Check us out online, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and now wearepodsyndicate.com. And as always, keep drinking, you dum-dums.
Shall we talk some Stuber then?
Why not?
Okay, so this is directed by Michael Dowse, director of Coffee and Kareem. So second one of his that we're talking about in a few weeks. I fucking love.
The mental thing is it's the cinematographer for Lovebirds was the cinematographer on Coffee and Kareem.
Are you really?
Yeah.
It just. I mean, Coffee and Kareem, I remember not looking that bad.
Yeah, it's the same cinematographer.
Fair. Well, I suppose is it the director then? Anyway, so Stuber, now available on Sky Cinema and Now TV in the UK. I'm sure it's on some sort of streaming service in the US. Directed by Michael Dowse, starring Kumail Nanjiani, Dave Bautista, Mira Sorvino, Natalie Morales, and Iko Uwais of The Raid, who I'm just glad he got a paycheck for this, quite frankly. It's always nice to see him. It's like him and like Tony Jaa and that other one who played like Mad Dog in The Raid, like the long-haired dude?
Yeah.
And it's just like whenever he turns up in something, it's like, yeah, fucking A. Like...
The guy who played Mad Dog does a lot of the stunt choreography now for like John Wick and like the fast movies and stuff like that.
All right.
I fucking love that guy. I think he's in a Star War. He's in one of the Star Wars.
Yeah, he is. He's in Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Yeah, because Iko Uwais is in that as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking mental. Anyway, Mad Dog, good man. Stuber is the story of Stu, played by Kumail Nanjiani, a Uber driver and kind of like big box retailer employee who is investing in a spin gym class with his college friend / potential love interest, played by Betty Gilpin. He picks up Victor, played by Dave Bautista. But Victor is actually on the hunt of the people who killed his partner, played in a cameo at the start by Karen Gillan, and the two form an unlikely friendship kind of thing. I suppose you could call it a friendship. And can I just say as well, Iko Uwais is in the Snake Eyes film playing a character called Hard Master, which might be the best character name of all time. Hard Master. Fucking hell. Like, Iko Uwais has got, like, he's got some credits.
He's been in some stuff, hasn't he? Yeah, he goes for it.
Yeah. Oh, good for him. All 5'6" 1/4 inches of him.
The mad thing, I remember reading an interview with him where they asked what was the transition like from going from moving into American cinema, and he said, well, I had to learn English because I didn't speak English. And said, was that the hardest bit? And he's like, no, the hardest bit was. They said to me, oh, it's really good. You can do all of this, all these fight scenes and everything like this, and you can do, all of this really intricate stuff. And he's like, yeah. And so I said, right, there's only one problem. I was like, what? I said, you don't have a six-pack. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, you don't look like you can do all these things. He's like, right, but I actually can. It's like, yeah, but we need you to look like you can, not just be able to do them.
Oh, nice. It's that's harsh.
It's mental, isn't it? It's mental.
What's that? What did I miss?
basically basically was told like two things he needed to do to keep his career going, but in American films and English language films. One, learn English, and two, get a six-pack. Because he didn't have one, even though he could do all of these things, and they thought it was really weird. Yep.
But regardless, Mark, what do you think of Stuber?
I enjoyed it. My only issue with it is it's a short movie that feels like a very long movie.
Yeah, it did feel way longer than its runtime.
But it's funny because, again, you've got in the silhouette of Lovebirds, your two central characters are amusing in that sense, and you're following their journey and going through it like that. I think Dave Bautista is a great comedic actor. He's got a great comedic energy to him, but he looks the way he does, which makes it even more sort of interesting in terms of like that. I think his arc throughout it was quite interesting with the way he started to warm to Steve. Yeah, the fact that he keeps on calling him Steve was always quite amusing. And Kumail Nanjiani playing more of a straight man role, I think worked out quite well there. It was, again, a chaotic one, but I enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as Lovebirds, but I did enjoy it a lot.
Okay, nice. Bex?
Very similar, to be fair. There's funny moments in it, but it felt really baggy to me. Not enough individual things happen, if that makes sense. Like there's this portion in the middle where you're just like, yep, still doing it. Yep, okay, cool. And it just felt baggy, and I think that's why it felt longer than its runtime. But there are some really, really good moments, like the bit where he kind of stands up to, God, I can't remember her name now, the one that he is in love with.
Betty Gilpin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her character, and he calls her and he's like, no, I'm not willing to do it to myself anymore. I'm not going to just have casual sex with you. I love you, and if you ever, you don't feel the same way, and I'll call you when I'm not waiting for that click. And it was just like, yeah, you fucking go, Kumail Nanjiani. You stand up for yourself. There was some really good bits like that where it was like, it was a bit deeper.
Yeah, I still would really like to know how much Uber funded this movie.
Oh my god, yeah. The bit with the male stripper was funny. That was good. So it's like giving him advice.
Yeah. The thing is, it's one of those films I definitely will watch again.
It's a Sunday afternoon movie. There's not that much substance to it.
It's a Thursday night movie for me. It's a Thursday night movie for me.
I don't know whether I'd waste the night on it.
I'd waste the night on Steve. Thursday night.
It's a Monday early evening film for me. Like, I don't know, about 4:45.
Solid shout.
Yeah.
What did you think, Ian?
I really liked it. I think I liked it more than the Lovebirds. I mean, like, this got very kind of like snarky reviews when it originally came out. And it is quite old school, I suppose. It's not a film which is high art. But I enjoyed Dave Bautista getting angry at Kumail Nanjiani. The extended bit of him driving early on, where he kind of hits Kumail Nanjiani and he's just like saying out of the way to nothing at one point. I thought was fucking fantastic. And just the kind of like the slow roll just into the hole that had been dug in the road. I really enjoyed that. I mean, it's like Dave Bautista's an interesting one because he's someone who doesn't seem like he's like necessarily like naturally funny, but he's good at being funny on film. And And yeah, I just him fucking just this is the thing. I'm a man of simple pleasures, and him just like blindly shooting at nothing. I think is funny. Especially when early on you kind of see like his prowess in fighting, and then like the next time he's in an action scene, he's just shooting at nothing and kind of like constantly missing his punches. And yeah, I really enjoy. I thought the Betty Gilpin subplot was really solid as well, because I was waiting for it at the end of the like, okay, well, he got with her kind of thing, and then it did actually surprise me when it was like, oh shit, no, he got with Victor's daughter. All right, then fair enough. Yeah, I mean, there was a bit of a spark with them like early on when they were talking to each other, but they play on the Betty Gilpin thing so much that you think it's just going to pan out. But no, like you say, the scene where he's just like, I love you, I'm not just going to wait around for you forever. Interesting moment, Yeah, I had a good time with it, and as I was saying earlier on, it looks like a film more than it doesn't, which I appreciate. So yeah, no, I had a good time. I think it probably would be one I'd watch again as well.
Yeah, what I will say is I would very much watch Karen Gillan in a straight, not a comedy, a straight cop flick.
Yeah. I want to see her do some kind of like more serious badass stuff as well, like with the Avengers films and Guardians of the Galaxy. There's never a joke more than a minute away, and it's like, no, I kind of want her to get her teeth into something, Yeah. Give her a 21 Bridges.
Yeah, get her in the next David Ayer movie.
She's good in Oculus.
She's very innocuous, yeah.
She's innocuous. Anyway, you fucking David Ayer, you're gonna get your bloody Ayer Suicide Squad cut at some fucking point.
It's
whatever
gonna
the
fucking
shit
happen,
that
isn't it?
is.
I was there at the beginning with that one.
Like, what? Just, we're probably coming to the end of Stuber anyway, but what the fuck is that? Like, as soon as this Snyder Cut stuff comes out, David Ayer's immediately out there going, well, I wasn't happy with the cut of the film either, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off.
The thing is, he's been saying that for ages. He's been saying it for ages. He's been saying constantly, look, it's not, it's my movie, but that's not my movie. It's nowhere near. They completely recut it. He said, and it's really disappointing knowing that there's a movie out there with my name on it that is not my fucking movie. And he's been saying that for a good couple of years. But then people started saying, are you going to release the Ayer cut? And he's like, I mean, I don't own it, so I can't say anything like that, but it'd be a completely different fucking movie.
I wonder. Like, Jared Leto, that performance, the bits of that performance in there, do I want to see any more of that? Not entirely sure I do.
Might work better in context. With him having a larger role, it might not seem as shitty and jarring.
I want to see the scene where he's laying out all those knives in the circle around him. I want to see what leads to that.
Yeah, because he basically said that we had to cut that to get the certificate. We had to cut the sequence that is that for the certificate.
Yeah. All right.
But like, what the fuck? I mean, I suppose it's interesting because like the way it comes off in this cut is basically he's a bit of a performative arsehole who just likes putting knives around him and then like fucking snow angeling in them.
Yeah. It's said that his version is a lot darker than the version we got.
Yeah.
But he's previous to all of this, it coming back up, is that the actual, the whole thing was his fuck up because he should never have thought they're going to let me make a movie, the movie that I wanted to make, because it was a lot darker than the movie we got. And he basically says that the entire ending isn't what he did, what he wrote.
just remembered Suicide Squad's the Enchantress one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's just. She's awful in that.
She's not great in that.
What, Delevingne?
Yeah. Like I like her in Valerian. Like she's got a certain amount of chops in that, but she's just fucking awful in Suicide.
She's wrongly cast.
She is, yeah. But I can never get out of my head that image of her just doing that weird fucking stupid swaying dance thing.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad just didn't work, did it? It just didn't work.
But it introduced the world to Captain Boomerang.
It did introduce the word Captain, and he's going to be in the next one.
It is going to be the redemption of Jai Courtney. If Jai Courtney now becomes like the next great action comedy star, I kind of think I'm here for it.
I'd be up for that. I'd be up for Jai Courtney becoming because you can see why it didn't quite work for him. But if he comes out and, like you say, has an element of buffoonery to him, that could be quite nice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Why the hell not? The Suicide Squad coming next year, I think. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? What an interesting bloody slate for DC that'll be next year. Like James Gunn's Suicide Squad and the darker, more intense The Batman. Like that's going to be a hell of a double bill, and they're going to be resuming shooting on the Batman in the next week or two as well. It's going to be fucking fascinating to see how they do a socially distanced Batman film. It's just going to be basically like the bits in the Arkham games where you're just like hiding from the guys and he's just taking them out, but for 2 hours.
Yeah, a lot of bataranging.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, interesting. Right, okay, so definitely not shit for Stuber, or what are we thinking?
Definitely not shit, yeah.
Bex?
Yeah, probably.
Wow,
Definitely not shit.
that was the most unenthusiastic definitely not shit I've heard.
Well, the rating system's flawed.
It's not flawed.
It is.
It's a perfect rating
It's
system.
not.
It should be how everything's rated.
It's flawed.
It's not. No, I'm a thoroughly definite not shit.
Oh, well, I'm a tentative, definitely not shit.
Well, fuck you.
Nice.
Very nice, there. Fuck off.
Our audience poll: definitely not shit 33%, touching cloth 50%, and shit 17%.
50%.
50%.
Yeah. It's just really non-inspiring for me.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Well, after that kind of lowering of the energy, let's snort some virtual angel dust and get into some what we've been watching. Becky, give us something you're passionate about. Go.
Hang on. I don't know what I've watched on my own. Okay, so I've only watched on my own Stardust. I fucking love Stardust. I have watched that film, I think, more than anyone else in the whole wide world.
Nice.
It's just fucking great, and it's magical and lovely, and just yeah, it's not boring. It's really good. I think maybe I've got a lot of affection for it because Isabel used to really love watching it when she was little. Well, littler. She's still quite little. And it was one that she never kind of like fidgeted through, which was good. But yeah, I just really like it. It's a really good story. It's really beautifully presented, and it's fun.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that's it. That's all I've watched on there.
I watched it on. Right,
Yeah.
Should we go through what is it?
Have you not watched anything on your own?
I watched Nowhere to Run, but that's going to be part of the Maximum Damage. And no, the rest of the stuff I've watched with you. Pretty good self. Your bad self.
My bad self.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Go
on. So we finished up our Robert Langdon trilogy, didn't we?
Did indeed.
So we watched Inferno.
Nice.
Weirdly, like every film that we watch now that has anything to do with like things spreading across the world is viewed through the frame of the current pandemic, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's really strange, and like obviously this is a man-made like virus essentially, isn't it? Which is hopefully very different to what we're going through at the moment. But it's you still can't watch it without kind of that colour in it. Yeah. It's fucking great, Inferno. It's just what these films offer is like it's like the whole mystery chase film. They're all the same kind of format. There's always like a race against time to do stuff, and it just makes them exciting. But they're not. They're complex enough that it's interesting, but not too complex that it's like going, I'm cleverer than you. I'm gonna trick you. So. I remember when we first watched it though, when it turned out that Felicity Jones was like the baddie. It was like, oh, not Felicity Jones. she's adorable. But yeah, it's just really good fun, really really good fun, and we return to them over and over again, don't we?
There's still one major thing that still bothers me massively about this movie.
Is it the fucking suit?
It's the suit. It's the suit. You're wearing his suit, right? Ben Foster is what, 5'8", 5'9", and Tom Hanks is 6'1", and Ben Foster's a billionaire, so therefore the suit wouldn't fit him. It would have been so easy for them to just have had the suit planted there.
Maybe it's from when he was poor, taller, and fatter. Just
that
get over it.
doesn't happen.
I mean,
but yeah, the great thing is it's the most horror-y. There's some fucking imagery in this, and Ron Howard is playing around with it and going, do you know what? We made the Da Vinci Code, and there was an awful lot of, people were looking forward to it, and a lot of eyes were on it. And then we did Angels and Demons, and it was very similar. And Inferno, they kind of did because they wanted to, rather than because they had to, or because people were even clamoring for it.
Yeah.
So they've gone, fuck it. It's half the budget of the other two movies, but we're going to do some weird fucking shit with it. We're going to have flashback scenes where all this, we're going to go a little bit more B-movie.
Yeah, the flashback bits are kind of spooky, aren't they?
Yeah, I like that about it. And Hanks seems to be on board with that. What we forget about Tom Hanks is there was a whole period before Tom Hanks became Tom Hanks with Philadelphia and winning multiple Oscars.
Yeah.
There was a whole period where he was a genre B-movie actor, very good at it, but he did genre picks. And so it's kind of him getting to play around with this and be fun. It was also quite sad watching, Irfan Khan in it, because he is brilliant in this as that character. You taking away from this, you'd watch an entire series or an entire series of movies just based around that guy's stories that he could have. It's really.
There is a sequel to Inferno, the book.
Yeah, and I would love to see them in a couple of years' time just do another one of these, like they did with Inferno. Will it happen? Probably not, but who knows? Because nobody thought they were going to make Inferno, and then they kind of just did, and a trailer came out, and everyone went, "What?" Really, I still really like it.
Do you think they will adapt the last book?
I don't know, maybe. We've got a bunch of Marvel stuff, haven't we?
Yeah, so we pushed on a bit with our Marvel rewatch, didn't we?
Yeah, we got through that.
The shit bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We waded through the swamp.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're not shit, the early ones, but it's when you compare them to the later ones.
I think there's less riding on them.
Yeah.
Which is, what is it? But then again, we watched Thor: The Dark World, which I didn't like when we first watched it, and I liked on this watch.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than I remember it being.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not as weighty feeling as the later ones, but it is better than I remembered. Definitely.
Yeah, it still suffers from having zero villain in it. I mean, literally, Eccleston has turned up, and that is pretty much it. In fact, that might be pushing it a little bit. that he's actually even turned up. he seems not interested at all in being anything to do with it at all. It's a terrible villain.
Yeah.
But it's fun enough.
It's fine. It got us through so that we could watch Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Which was like, it's the first of the what I would consider the really good ones. I fucking love Winter Soldier.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
My heart fucking bleeds for Bucky Barnes. That poor guy. He goes through the fucking ringer in this.
Nothing to do with the fact that it's Sebastian Stan, then.
No.
Yeah. All right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
All right.
Well, no, because then I'd just really love the fucking Thor movies, wouldn't I? Regardless of the fact that they're not very good.
Sebastian Stan isn't in the Thor movies.
No, but I mean because Hemsworth.
What? He's not Stan, is he?
No, Sebastian Stan's got some fucking good hair on him.
He does.
But he's really good as a baddie as well, though. When he's like the Winter Soldier and doing all that like baddie shit, he's good at being a baddie.
He's good at being a bad guy. Yeah.
Oh, and that bit where he's starting to remember about stuff, and he's like, but you remembered me, and I think I know him, and then they wipe his fucking memory.
The bastards.
Poor guy, I just need to fucking hug with that guy.
Yeah, it's the first one where you start seeing Cap becoming the Cap that we know and became more interesting of a character. Certainly there. I think it's possibly Scarlett Johansson's weakest performance in the Marvel movies. And I think she's one of the absolute strong points of the whole thing.
She doesn't feel fleshed out, does she? She feels just like...
She feels tacked on a little bit.
Yeah.
It feels like she's there, but she's not quite sure why she's there.
Yeah, it's difficult with Winter Soldier because it's like they kind of want her to be his buddy with a little tiny bit of sexual tension, just a little bit, but then they also want him to be buddies with Falcon, and they want him to be buddies with Bucky. And there is that kind of sense of maybe there's one. Maybe if you just had Falcon or you just had Black Widow, would that have made the relationship that the existing one has with Cap better? Probably yes.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. It's a really good,
That it's diluted.
Yeah, that makes sense. What I would say there is it's Anthony Mackie's best performance, I think, in the Marvel movies.
I was quite shocked. We commented on it, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's not just like fucking white noise and static.
No,
it's actually moments where he's quite funny.
You can actually focus on him.
You can.
Without going blind of boredom.
I honestly forgot that there was a point where he wasn't just really fucking irritating screen waste.
So harsh. We also watched Guardians, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Again, I commented after this, the characters, they become a little bit, from what I remember, obviously that's why we're doing the rewatch, but in the other ones that they're in after this, they feel a little bit like they've gone, all right, now you're all just comic relief now. And you don't need that. You need one comic relief, and the rest, it's not comic relief if it's all just fucking comic. And they were all less annoying in this. Like Drax, I found less annoying in this than I do in.
You see, I'm the opposite. I find him more
2.
annoying in this. I prefer Drax when he is comic relief. He's better at that.
But if you didn't have, my issue is in the later ones, you've got Drax is just comic relief. You've got that. What's she called? With the Mantis.
Yeah.
She's essentially just cute comic relief, and Baby Groot. Oh, look how cute Baby Groot is! Like Groot is better than Baby Groot.
Oh, Groot's better than Baby Groot.
Baby Groot is fucking annoying. Rocket in this I think he stays quite similar, to be fair, though, because he's obviously he's a bit of a tortured soul.
I think Rocket is, for me, the most underrated of the Marvel universe characters.
Oh god, yeah, and the thing when he's with Thor in the Avengers movies is hilarious. When he goes off with Thor.
Yeah, I do think he's the unsung hero of the what is it for me.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like it was. I mean, I remembered it being good, so saying it's better than I remembered is disingenuous. But it's It's got more deep moments than I remembered.
I enjoyed how well it stood up. It does start to drag a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
And I think that in number 2, it does the same thing, but in number 2, it doesn't quite manage to grab it back quick enough. So number 1, it starts to drag, but quite quickly it pulls back. Whereas this one, it doesn't. Whereas number 2, from what I remember, it struggles to quite get it fully back moving again.
Yeah, but it's waiting to hit you with the fucking emotional gut punch in number 2, isn't it?
Yeah. And then finally, I've got 2 more actually. We rewatched Ocean's 11.
Yes.
Nice.
Just because I think we were just looking for something when I suggested it to you and you were like, yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
And it's just really solid. It's mad that this film's 19 years old.
That's depressing.
But it's just, you go back and you look at it and the cast is insane. But it is just really good, solid, entertaining filmmaking. And it's... We could watch 12 and 13 at some point, weren't we?
We're doing an Ocean's rewatch, yeah.
Yeah, and I must say that out of the other ones we've got to watch, I'm looking forward to watching 8 most. But it's just really...
It's just a really fucking good heist movie. A heist movie done well is a thing of beauty.
It feels really glossy.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Yeah.
The obvious down point is Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's accent is an abomination.
It's horrific, isn't it?
Yes. But, yeah, that's us, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian?
Ever so sorry, Lottie's just come in the room. 2 texts. Sorry.
While he's doing like, we did actually watch Springsteen on Broadway, but it's not really a movie, so that it counts.
Good though.
It's very good, yeah, very good. I think if you are a Springsteen fan, be it a heavy Springsteen fan or a medium to casual fan, you'll get enough out of it. I would say go on his YouTube first though, watch a lot of the live performances of him just doing them just straight up rather than as a theatre production, which is what Springsteen on Broadway is, a theatre production.
Yeah.
So there's an element of storytelling within it that is Springsteen's always done, but it's enhanced within this. So you've got an extra layer of he's specifically storytelling rather than just saying what's on his mind at the time that's there. And it's just another interesting... Springsteen was kind of like, at this point, was sort of looking back on his career and his life and sort of saying, right, this is what I've done, and having, I think, a bit of an emotional release of these things with the book and then this. And
I think it's interesting as well to kind of see how the songs, how he views the songs as relating to his life.
Yeah.
That's always interesting. Sometimes you listen to a song like, where the fuck's that come from?
Yeah, and it's he's always he's showing you his version of how he sees things.
Yeah.
It's really quite interesting with that, and the level of confidence that he has without ever coming across as arrogant. You know, he's not saying, look, I'm fucking amazing, but he's going, look, I'm really good at what I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like it's one of those things like, do you know what? It's all right to say that when you're Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
You know, it's if you out there saying, look, I'm fucking great. I'm one of the premier rock stars. I'm royalty. If he just wasn't. Whereas he is, so it's all right for him to do it.
I still, he doesn't really say that. He just.
No, he doesn't say that. No.
That.
He just kind of like, but I think it gets across how important the live experience is for him.
Yeah.
And if you've ever been to a Springsteen show, you know that he really does go through with that.
Fucking does, yeah.
And mental that he's like in his late 60s.
Yeah.
But that's it for us.
Okay. I'm back. So I've got a couple of other things to talk about. Okay, so I watched Bad Boys for Life on 4K disc. I like the film. I maybe not quite as impactful as in the cinema. Just I think in the cinema it was like, fucking hell, it actually works. Wow. This time obviously that there's not so much. I think the Will Smith arc is very, very interesting, and they managed to combine kind of like quite a serious plot about the sins of the past coming back to haunt you with, you fucked a witch without a condom, which is just incredible. Now, this is part of a new line of 4K discs, which has this branding IMAX Enhanced on it. And it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. What's that about then? So let me pull up what IMAX have to say about IMAX Enhanced. Unleash the power of IMAX at home. IMAX Advanced combines digitally remastered 4K HDR content and DTS audio technologies with best-in-class consumer electronic products and streaming platforms. Experience ultra-vivid 4K HDR picture with IMAX's proprietary digital remastering technology. Great. Okay, so it's a 4K HDR picture then. Great. Well done, guys. Immersive signature sound delivered by DTS. Right, so it's a DTS track like lots of 4K discs have then. Select IMAX Enhanced content features its exclusive expanded aspect ratio, the way it was intended. Yeah, Bad Boys for Life doesn't. Basically, what the fuck? Like, there is nothing here that makes me think, oh shit, well, I'm really interested in IMAX Enhanced going forward. No, I mean, is it a good looking disc? Yeah, it is. It'd be a good looking disc if it had nothing to fucking do with IMAX. The audio certainly got nothing to do with fucking IMAX. It just means that you don't get it in Dolby Atmos. You get it in DTS's competing format instead. Fucking brilliant. Well done. It's bullshit. Absolute fucking bullshit.
But it doesn't add anything at all.
No. I mean, like,
not even what it adds is bad or anything like that. It's just word fluff.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, this expanded aspect ratio thing, discs would and some streaming content were doing that before this IMAX Enhanced bollocks. Mission Impossible Fallout on iTunes does the expanded aspect ratio stuff. All of Nolan's films on Blu-ray or 4K disc do the expanded aspect ratio stuff. If this now means that unless the studio behind it have some sort of deal with IMAX to call it IMAX Enhanced, and then we're not going to get that expanded framing shit, then what the fuck? Like, if Tenet doesn't do this because Warner don't have a deal with IMAX Enhanced, fucking fuming I'll be. Fucking fuming. It is just bobbins. It's word soup farted out just to make things seem a bit more special, and there's nothing to it. It's literally 4K HDR picture with IMAX's proprietary digital remastering technology. What the fuck does that mean? It's a pretty picture. There's a lot of 4K discs that have a pretty picture. Immersive signature sound delivered by DTS. That's not even delivered by IMAX. Why don't you call it DTS Enhanced? Like, absolute bollock yogurt. I mean, the home viewing with no limits. So this fucking thing I'm looking at here, can I bloody screen share or anything on this motherfucker? No, I don't think I can. Bollocks. What's this do? Share screen. I'm doing it. I just need to grant my permission. What the fuck do I do this? Screen recording. Yeah, fine. Skype, do it. It won't be able to record the contents of your screen until you quit. Right, bollocks to it then. Right, I'm just going to send you a picture. Right. IMAX are trying to cash some checks with this, and I'm fairly sure they're going to bounce.
An IMAX original film, The Journey to South Pacific.
look at the fish or the whatever it is. It's coming out of the screen.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that doesn't happen.
what the fuck are you, like, what are you trying to, home viewing with no limits? Yeah, there's a limit. It's called the edge of the fucking TV.
So, I don't get it. If they try to say, so it looks so real, you'll think it's real, right? I'd be very worried if there was a big fish in the middle of my living room. I'd also wonder why there's a small man there as well.
Well, and that. So it says here, the only way to experience IMAX's signature picture, sound, and scale in the home. But no, it's not. Like, the sound, the scale, there is no extra scale. It looks exactly the same. There's no expanded aspect ratio. Like I say, the video looks really good, but what the fuck are IMAX actually doing to the picture? They're not. They're doing nothing. It has made me rather annoyed because I saw it in Tesco. I didn't have any intention of fucking buying Bad Boys for Life on 4K disc for £25. £25. I didn't have any, but it was like IMAX enhanced. Shit. Well, I wonder if there's like an expanded aspect ratio or something like that. Then that's interesting. Watch the entire fucking film. None of it. It's like,
so it doesn't change the aspect ratio either.
No. There's like, obviously, like, it just didn't in the cinema either, I'm assuming. Even though then the question is, what the fuck's the point in watching it in IMAX? Apart from the fact that the screen's bigger. But I can't have a bigger screen than my TV at home. If it magically turned my TV into a wall-encompassing screen, then yeah, all right then, fair enough, great stuff. I'll buy all the IMAX enhanced shit I can. So basically, all I can say is IMAX enhanced, go fuck yourself. And if it means now that if the studio doesn't have IMAX enhanced branding, I'm not going to get my fucking expanded aspect ratio, then no. That's a bad IMAX. Get fucked. Also, in what I've been watching, The Adventures of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn. Fancied watching a film and Lottie was around, started watching it, and then she like put down her iPad after a couple of minutes, like the opening credits had her, and we ended up watching the entire thing. The Adventures of Tintin, The Secret of the Unicorn is a treat. That film slaps. It bangs, it slaps, it does all those good things. The bits with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, I understand that Thompson and Thompson were characters in Tintin. Don't think they were necessarily needed in the film. But it's a Steven Spielberg directed action adventure film, and no one talks about it. It's great. It's really good. It's a fun mystery. It's charming. The one kind of like one shot looking action sequence where it's like a chase and they're kind of like going down the streets in Morocco, I think it is fucking brilliant. It's really, really good, and I'm quite sad that they never made any more.
Yeah, because the whole idea was that it was going to be different directors taking on different stories, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think that, originally they had people like Peter Jackson was going to do one. I think he produced it, didn't he, as well? Yep, and then that's right. Fincher was going to do one. And
it's a real shame more of them didn't get made. It is great, is The Adventures of Tintin.
Yeah, you really liked it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on with it, but then again, I fucking hate Tintin.
I always really liked Tintin. You say it because I was a bad Tory, don't you?
It is an incredibly Tory cartoon. Yeah. It is.
Whatever.
I mean, it did 373 worldwide, which, given the scale of this, does feel like that's probably not good enough. So I get it, but it feels like it's just the fact that it's a Steven Spielberg directed action adventure film that no one talks about. It's completely disappeared.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. And I'm just trying to find out what the budget was, but I can't really see it anywhere.
5 mil.
135.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it essentially would have made its money back and done fuck all else. That obviously wasn't what they were intending on.
No, I think at the time, I think the idea was they were intending on it essentially being akin to something like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
They were looking at 600-700 plus.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's such a shame. I mean, it's written by Stephen Moffat, Edgar Wright, and Joe Cornish. Obviously directed by Steven Spielberg, produced by Peter Jackson, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, the cast are really good. I mean, Andy Serkis is doing some fucking fantastic work as Captain Haddock, and just even the fact that the dog gets plenty to do. The dog gets some really, really solid stuff to do in this. I mean, Lottie was all about Snowy. And I'm not surprised. That dog's the best. So, yeah.
There as well.
Sorry?
No, he's amazing in the cartoons as well. He's like Inspector Gadget's dog as well, that does more than...
Well, that was kind of like the... Inspector Gadget was the mock sort of short version of it, wasn't it?
Oh. I think maybe it was the animation style.
I think that did put people off, yeah.
It is a bit peculiar, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just a random watch on Netflix, and I'm really, really glad I did it. It won't be nearly as long in between watches this time, I don't think. So yeah, Adventures of Tintin. It's very, very good. If there was a 4K, I'd be intrigued, but there probably wouldn't never be. So that is it for what we've been watching. Are we okay to continue, or does anyone want a break?
I'm good.
Okay, we shall pile on into the iTunes 99p rental of the week, which this week is Kevin Costner's The Postman, his follow-up to Waterworld, I believe. Or was Tin Cup in between there? Or just trying to think now.
Let's have a look. iPad's going mental. Filmography. He did Waterworld. Tin Cup was in between, but yeah, it wasn't him directing, was it? It was Ron Shelton who directed that one.
Wow. So, starring Kevin Costner, Will Patton, Olivia Williams, Lorenz Tate, and Tom Petty as himself? ?
He has confirmed that it was playing himself.
Okay, fair enough. Fucking hell. So, The Postman. It's set in a kind of a post-apocalypse world where there had been like some sort of plague, or yeah.
It caused a war.
The plague caused a war. The eponymous postman, played by Kevin Costner, he comes across a postman's uniform, sticks it on. He's a bit hungry one day, and he says, after escaping from Will Patton's Law of 8 tribe, I can't remember what they're called. There was a lot going on in this film. He wants some food. He delivers some post and says, if I deliver this post, can I have some food? The town say yes. Olivia Williams says, could you fuck me, please? And he says, I'll have to think about it. And then later on, yes. And it's kind of like the madcap adventures of Will Patton every now and then running into Kevin Costner and then having a bit of a war, along with Kevin Costner reigniting the United States Postal Service. It's based on a book, which is kind of surprising because it did kind of feel like Kevin Costner just wrote this on some sort of drug trip. But Mark was very, very much looking forward to this, and I'm just going to ask with a simple question, Mark. Why?
Why? Because I really like The Postman. Like, genuine. It's not a, what is it? I genuinely like this movie. It's got an epic scale. First of all, it's a post-apocalyptic film, and I enjoy post-apocalyptic films. I enjoy spending screen time with Kevin Costner. But it's an oddity, this movie, in that it's set within a world, post-apocalyptic world, but it's got such an odd vibe to it. You know, you've got Will Patton there playing this general who is marshalling. You know, you don't know what's happening beyond this little pocket of Southern America that he's taken over. Sorry, Middle America that he's taken over. You don't know what else is happening in the rest of the world. The rest of the world could be fine.
No, they keep mentioning about other places.
They do, but it could be, that could just be a smokescreen. So you're dealing with essentially a small area that this fucking madman has taken over, and has this army that's based in this quarry, and they are essentially acting like fucking like a version of William the Conqueror. It's mental, but then you just find out just casually that he used to be a copier salesman.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, you just cut through the fucking teeth of it completely, and it makes the whole thing just seem more just random. And then you throw Tom Petty in it, playing Tom Petty. Giovanni Ribisi playing every late 90s, early 90s Giovanni Ribisi character.
I like how on Wikipedia it says, starting with the breakdown of society through hate crimes and racially motivated attacks by a militia-like group. That's never referenced in the film. They must have got that from the book.
It is in the book, yes. It's also the madness of the fact that Kevin Costner clearly went on holiday, was at the airport or something, and was buying whatever he was buying, and saw a thing and said, "Oh, the Postman. Oh, why not? Give something to read on the beach, doesn't it?" Got that, went to the beach, and then went, I might need $100 million. I need to make this motherfucker. It's so earnest. And I love the fact that Ian described what happened with Olivia Williams there. And it sounds like, you know, if people haven't seen The Postman, it would sound like you're doing that with a mild amount of kind of like derision towards it. No, that is literally what happens.
She's just down to floor.
Yeah. But she just literally just wants his semen. You know.
As a body father.
As a body
father.
What a body father. Yeah. I literally, every time I watch this, I turn to Becky and just go, can you imagine what would happen if somebody in this entire town just owned a turkey baster?
They just get him to jack off into loads of jugs and then say, bye, Postman.
Yeah, and then she'd just be there just freaking going up, but yeah, I still really enjoyed my time with The Postman. I like the fact that it's mental. I like the fact that it builds this massive crescendo of two middle-aged men rolling around.
The thing is, like, I don't usually like earnest movies. They bother me.
Yeah.
This is achingly earnest.
Oh, yeah.
But I kind of love it for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love Kevin Costner. Absolutely love watching Kevin Costner films. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was one of my favourite movies when I was younger, much to my shame now.
Good
but he's got a great on-screen presence and charisma.
A charm,
yeah. So yes, we like post-apocalyptic movies and stuff like that, but I think the idea behind it, and this is going to sound really cheesy, but the idea behind it that really something as simple as being able to send and receive letters can spark hope and then reignite civilization is just beautiful.
So Ian, had you seen this before?
No.
So because I was the one guy who saw this at the cinema. I was that one person in the UK that saw this at the cinema because I went to see it.
It did well, didn't it?
No.
It says it was a major critical and commercial success on the.
No, that is
what those are lies.
Is it not?
No.
Has Kevin Costner been editing the thing himself?
It cost $80 million and made 20.
Oh wow, that's not
Like that's literally like worldwide as well, isn't it? Like it
bombed.
Absolutely fucked it.
Released on Christmas of '97 by Warner Brothers. The Postman was a major critical and commercial failure.
Failure, yeah, you need to read the actual full thing.
It was nominated for 3 Saturn Awards.
Of course it was.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to see this at the cinema, and there was like me. I think I was on my own, but I have enjoyed it since then. I've owned it on DVD. I didn't rent this on iTunes. No. I bought it on iTunes.
We'll get rewatched
because I will rewatch it.
I mean, it's $3.99 well spent. I mean, it's weirding me out how kind of close the plot is in the broadest sense to Death Stranding, because that's literally about delivering packages to people to try to reconnect America. The Postman. It feels like there's an 8-hour film crammed into a 3-hour film. The fucking montages in this, where it's like, it feels like entire sequences have been filmed and chopped down into 5 seconds of a montage. Hell of a thing. I mean, like, so the start of the film, you've got him with that other guy and Giovanni Ribisi and Will Patton. And then that kind of feels like that could be one film. That whole thing could be one film. And, some interesting world building there. People are fucking booing the trailer of Universal Soldier, and they all just they're fucking thirsty for the sound of music.
Yeah.
Which, incredible. But I get it, though, because, like, in that world, what they probably want in their downtime from slavery is something like the sound of music. So, you get it.
Yeah.
They probably don't want Universal fucking Soldier. So you've got that section, and then he gets caught up in the river, and it's like, right, those other characters are just completely gone. And then you've got the section in Pineview with Olivia Williams.
Yeah.
And then he's off delivering things, and then Will Patton comes back again, and I fucking adore that Will Patton never recognises who he is until
shaved his beard.
Because he shaved his fucking beard.
It's a full-on Mr. Burns, Homer Simpson thing, isn't it?
That's a perfect analogy. It's incredible how that penny doesn't drop. I mean, and it's not like he was just some random who escaped. He had him in his office, and they were like doing Shakespeare quotes at each other. Balmy. Just the way that every time, because Will Patton will disappear for like chunks of the film, and every time he comes back, it kind of seems like he's gotten grander. And it's like the last time it cuts back to him for like the final act, it's like, what is he basically the president now? Like, he's living in this like kind of like this almost like palatial looking place. It's like, wow, fucking hell, good for you, Will Patton. I mean, the body father stuff is mental. I feel so fucking sorry for her ex who gets killed. Like, by the end of the film, she has just completely been cock blinded by the majesty of Kevin Costner. But I mean, and it sounds reductive, but it basically is. Like, it's just the fact that Costner's character is an asshole for a lot of the film. Seems to be the inspiration to everyone, despite himself.
He accidentally inspires people to do things that he's not that bothered about.
Sorry, Bex, go on.
He's drawn into being this figure of like inspiration and hope for the future and stuff, and he just wanted some fucking food and a bath.
Yeah, because the person who gets the postal service going back is Lorenzo Tate.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's an interesting idea that it's like, it's almost like Being There, where Peter Sellers, like, everybody, like, talks to him and he says these things and they all interpret it in the way that they want to interpret. Have you guys seen Being There?
Yeah, we did it for...
That's right. Playing it forward, didn't we?
Forward, yeah.
Yeah, of course we did. Sorry. So, yeah, it's like, it's like that. Everything he says... they're all just interpreting it in the way that they want to fucking interpret it. And it's like, I mean, he's basically taking the piss out of Lorenz Tate when he enrolls him into the fucking, the postal service, but then he runs with it. I mean, that section where they, like, him and Olivia Williams basically come out of hibernation, and it's like, the US Postal Service has basically resumed production. It's, I don't know. It's incredible.
Can we talk about the big dick energy that Olivia Williams has got in this film?
Oh, please do. Go ahead.
I mean, the bit where he's like, I can't live on this. It's just water and grass, and we're running out of grass. And she just stares him in the fucking eyes, takes his horse outside and shoots it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The thing is, you completely forgot that's what happened.
Yeah, I was like, oh, they're keeping the horse in the house, thinking to myself, oh, she's going hunting for some rabbits. I
looked at me, like, do you not know what happens here? She's like, she goes, hunting. It's like, no. And then literally they said, no, there was a bang. And he just went, oh.
And then I swear she just walks back into the fucking house, locks eyes with him again, fucking moan about the food again. This is what happens. Bill 3, gone.
Bill 3 is gone, yeah.
And they're fucking burning the house down, right? If you won't get off his arse any other man, burn his cabin down.
She is mental.
She is mental.
Because she's your kind of woman, dude. You know what?
Oh, she's marvellous. But like, it is.
Do you want me to burn your house down? Is that what you're saying?
But I'm just saying, if you wanted me, the thing is there. All she wants to do is she makes it plainly obvious that she just.
Say if you wanted me to like you.
No.
That's what it sounded like you were going with.
But she just wants them to just get her to a town that it's safe to have the baby in, right? Yeah. She doesn't. At this point, she doesn't want anything. Still doesn't want anything to do with it. Just wants to get him to help her get to a town where it's suitable for her to settle with the baby, right? He could have gone back to that fucking cabin. It was fine for him. No, bitch burned it down.
Bitch did burn it down.
Yeah, well, full left eye.
And it's just like that, the sex scene that they have. It's like, this is grotty. This is really grotty. It's, you know, it's functional sex, but it's presented in this kind in a sexy way. I've got to say as well, the last scene was just chef's kiss shit. It's like 30 years later, and everything's back to normal. Like, I mean, I just, you know, they've all got 90s clothes on. There's a microphone. There's a TV camera. Like the resumption of the U.S. Postal Service has brought peace to the land, and that's a beautiful, earnest idea. But it's also just the dumbest fucking shit. And just that last scene of the reveal of the statue and that guy looking at the fucking statue and going, that kid was me.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it might not be. It might not be. He might have grabbed letters off loads of people.
Oh, mate, No, all he does all day, is he trolls kids with letters, runs past them, and then comes back to them just to see if he can grab it.
Either that, or that one guy has the weakest fucking pickup line in the world. Like, he's sitting there, he looks at that girl and gone, let's say that little boy's me.
Just the fact that, like, the last shot is just like the fucking kid smiling. And in the end credits, I swear that kid was something Costner.
It's his kid, yeah.
All his kids are in it.
Yeah, all his kids are in it.
Oh, fuck's sake. I mean, you know, Kevin Costner was riding pretty high in the 90s, and the fact that he got this made good on him. You know, I mean, like it looks like a film. Cinematography, lovely, great James Newton Howard score. You know, but like you said, Mark, the action climax of this film is two men rolling around in a field.
It really is. It's so amusing the fact that it's not even like the end of Streets of Fire where there's a proper fucking fight. It's two guys rolling around. It is a writer and a copy machine salesman having a fight.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I think that's why it works so beautifully.
That's it. I think it's the stupidity of what's holding civilization back is this jumped up copy of salesman.
The mental thing is, the film that he directed.
The crew referred to the film as Dirt World.
The film that he directed before this was Dances with Wolves, which of course is really good.
Yeah.
And then the film he directed after this was Open Range, which is fantastic, a really, really underrated western. It's so odd that this is the one that's in between.
I mean, yeah. There's plenty of stuff in the film. I mean, I don't think it didn't necessarily feel like there was too much padding. I mean, it is just like quite an epic story. But I don't know. Like it could have been a bit more entertaining, I suppose. You know, I mean, like the world building's pretty crazy, and you get the sense of what Costner's trying to do here, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, the action climax is two men rolling around in a field.
It really is.
But it's 177 minutes long.
Yep. I also like that. I like the fact that it's way too long.
It doesn't feel too long though.
But like Ian says, if there was an 8-hour cut out there, I would watch the shit out of it. The thing is, when we often watch this, and we have watched it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah.
We never start watching it like early enough for it, to fit it all in. We're always still watching it at like 1:30 in the morning, aren't we?
Yeah, we never sort of knock it off and go to bed, do we?
No. Yeah. I still really like it. And I know that I'm in a vast minority.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's like, because I don't think it's a geostorm. It might be a really mild, definitely not shit, but maybe a touching cloth. I don't know. It just there are moments in it I really like, and to be fair, Olivia Williams' quiet psycho hose beast is it's kind of making me like tip it into definitely not shit.
When she's captured and she's in that tent and she's looking around, you're thinking, what's she looking for? And then she just kicks the fucking chair to break her leg off and then smacks that guy in the face with it. You look at it going, the most badass character in the entire film is Olivia Williams.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I like that. And again, the wonder of walking up to Tom Petty and going, hey, you're that guy. Yeah, I wrote some songs. And it's that oddity. It's the same as in Running Man with Mick Fleetwood.
Yeah.
I like that the oddity of him being mayor and then him being such a mad mayor with the zip line thing. He's like, you know what? Occasionally I just fucking ride this just for fun. It's like, you mad bastard! Well played, Tom Petty.
Costner actually filmed that scene.
What?
It wasn't a stunt double. The zip line one.
Yeah.
The chair was pulled along. The thing was pulled by a helicopter.
Good for him, man.
That is mental.
He did all his own horse riding as well because he's a skilled equestrian.
Yeah. I bet he is.
See, that's another thing. That adds to his quickness. There's something good about a man who can ride a horse.
I can ride a horse.
Without falling off.
I didn't say I could do it well. I think my entire horse riding experience has been a horse going, this is really fucking high.
That was a fun day. I wouldn't let you get off either, would I? I
No.
wouldn't how to get off.
No.
That was funny.
Twat. Where are you with it, Bex?
Oh, it's definitely on shit.
Yeah, good.
Oh dear. So
audience
Twitter
poll.
question.
Sorry, our audience
sorry.
poll on the Postman was definitely not shit 33%, touching cloth 50%, and shit 17%.
Oh,
I'm fine with that.
you're right with that.
Yeah, I'm mildly surprised it was that high. To be fair.
Yeah, fair enough.
We do have Twitter questions. Rick Jacob has actually peppered us with Twitter questions. We
Alright.
also have an Instagram question from Jordan. Jordan's weekly Instagram question,
Yeah.
which is IKEA meatballs. Yeah or no?
Yes.
I want to try making them at home.
Right, but that's not IKEA meatballs. That's at home meatballs.
Just
Yeah.
yes.
No. No.
I really like Swedish meatballs.
No, I'm not a fan. I don't mind
What's wrong-
Swedish meatballs, but I don't like IKEA.
What's wrong with the Swedish meaties?
I don't like Swedish meatballs. I don't like IKEA's version of them. I don't trust that they haven't been there for like. I don't trust that the ones that people had today aren't the ones that they've just reheated from when they closed the doors in March.
Ew. They're not.
Are you sure about that though? Because I don't think people are.
I'm inordinately excited about for someone that really enjoys cooking and really likes nice food. I am way more excited than I should be about the fact that all the McDonald's drive-thrus are reopening this week.
It's sad how excited you are about
I
that.
know. Just want a fucking Big Mac.
Anyway.
And all the salted fries.
Anyway, Rick J. Kidd. I'm gonna ask all these questions because fuck it, why not?
Is it just loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to answer one, some of, or all of these. So number one, he says, we are living through a combination of Contagion and Do the Right Thing. What films will 2020 have us living through next? I'm guessing The Birds or Godzilla.
What's that Mark Wahlberg one?
That happening?
Yeah, that. All the trees are gonna turn on.
What,
us
the
next.
bees are going to go mental.
Bees
Yeah.
are gonna go
Because
mental.
of the
Yeah.
bees. Oh,
Murder
shit.
hornets are gonna kill all the bees.
Fucking hell. That's bleak.
I mean, it's 2020.
Yeah. It is.
Everything's bleak.
I think probably The Running Man and then The Postman.
Yeah.
You know, two films that have both been mentioned today.
Yeah.
I definitely think The Postman, but possibly by the way of 28 Days Later.
Zombie Bay. What about that other one? The bleak Earth bit of Interstellar.
Oh God, yeah.
Velcro.
Yeah, we have just sent the first commercial
Well, yeah.
spaceship.
It's fucking Interstellar.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. It's a good one, that one. Question number 2. What novel would you like to see adapted into a movie? For me, it's an obscure novel in the Shadowrunner series called 2XS, which is a cyberpunk detective story.
Well, now, number 4 of the Robert Langdon series by Dan Brown. Now I know it is. I'd like to see a good movie adaptation of The Stand
All right, yeah.
instead of the TV adaptation.
Yeah.
It's so fucking long though.
Yeah, it would need to be a couple of movies.
But I'd love to see it done well. And I'd love to see a fucking proper set of movie adaptations of the Dark Tower series. But that's been fucked, hasn't it? That's never going to happen now.
Ian.
I honestly don't know. I haven't read a novel in I don't fucking know how long. So I'm ever so sorry. I don't think I'm well placed to answer this.
I'm trying to think. I'm one of the few people who, I adore American Psycho, the novel, but didn't get on with the film.
You like to see that readapted?
I think that the issues with it, because they changed too much and it didn't feel like a adaptation. I was really excited for it because Christian Bale's fantastic and he's perfectly cast and perfectly pitched, but I didn't like the way the film went with it all, for me, from the book.
I'd like to see, there's a book that I read ages ago, and it's kind of like a fantasy, kidsy type book. It's called The Book of Lost Things.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see that. So,
Cool. Right, next one.
I've lost my copy of that book, and it makes me sad. Like, almost weekly, I remember that I've lost it.
I mean, you could just buy them all.
I can't get it in hardback anymore.
I rewatched The Count of Monte Cristo last week. What classic tale would you like to see a new version of? Ooh, everyone's going a bit.
I don't know, you see, 'cause the classic films that I like, I wouldn't want to be remade because I like the existing versions of them.
Doesn't matter, you can have a more modernised version of one of them.
Give me like the Mask of the Red Death. I want another fucking version of that for these times. Why not? Go with that.
I want to see some Mark Gassard stuff going on.
Marky the Fat?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't really know on that one.
I want some horny anti-Catholic shit going on.
I'd like to see a Cleopatra movie that hasn't got Elizabeth fucking Taylor in it.
Cleopatra's a good movie. Yeah.
Fine.
Fair enough. And finally, number 4. What are your favourite road trip movies? Fucking big question, that.
Road trip.
Road Trip's a solid shout, funnier than it has any right to be.
Midnight Run, probably for me.
Yeah, Midnight Run.
That's a great shout. That's probably the right answer, eh?
I do think Midnight Run is the right answer.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles is another.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles is magnificent.
I never categorised that as a road trip movie. My brain automatically categorises it as a holiday season movie.
That's Vacation. The original Vacation movie. Almost Famous.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
A road trip movie, technically. And I'm going to throw Dumb and Dumber in there as well. Yeah, they might. But yeah, Midnight Run, I think, is the right answer.
It's the correct answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree.
The first movie I bought on iTunes, Midnight Run.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've now owned Midnight Run on every format that I can.
Sweet.
Laserdisc.
I did have it on Laserdisc, yes.
No.
I've had it on VHS, recorded from a rental copy of VHS, then VHS when I actually bought it.
That's what people used to do. That's illegal.
No, you're allowed to make yourself a copy. You're just not allowed to watch it.
Oh.
It's a really weird little bylaw.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a weird thing. It's like you were allowed to, before you used to be allowed to legally, technically, you weren't supposed, if you were allowed to legally record things off TV, but technically you were supposed to delete it within a certain amount of days.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now there's the Skybox just hanging out with everything on there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Do you have a Video Plus?
Video Plus.
Video Plus for if you wanted to miss
Video
the first 6
Plus.
minutes of everything.
Yeah, TV, you had to put a code.
You had to put a code in your
TV
Video
magazines had the
Plus.
Video Plus codes.
Yeah.
They were shit. My dad had one of them.
It was useless.
It was useless.
It was absolutely useless.
My dad just used it to record like Corey.
Yeah, they had to start doing the timers for it. So it would be 10 minutes before the thing started and 10 minutes after the thing started.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it for questions.
That's it for questions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know what we're going to cover next week.
The 99p rental of the week's a good one.
What, Three Identical Strangers?
Yeah, I've wanted to watch
Yeah.
it for a while.
Yeah, no, that's definitely going to be a good one, I think. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's difficult because it's like we've got like the Five Bloods, then Artemis Fowl, then Eurovision in the 3 weeks after.
Have you watched the Artemis Fowl trailer on Disney Plus?
No, don't think so.
Right. the trailer that's on Disney Plus, literally, it is just the trailer from that would have been shown in cinemas. So literally, it ends with a swoosh noise, and it's at the sound. It's about to give you like the in theaters and blah bit and all that lot, and it just cuts off midway through somebody saying stuff. But it looks so much like a straight to streaming service film.
Yeah, it looks
ropey.
That new trailer is shit.
It looks ropey. But
I'm going to make Mark watch a film called Daniel Isn't Real that's on Sky. If it's on Now TV, you could watch that.
What is it?
Patrick Schwarzenegger plays an evil imaginary friend.
I'm already thoroughly out.
You are in. You are watching it.
Yeah. Patrick fucking Schwarzenegger. Jesus.
You will get the fuck over it and watch it.
Yeah, we'll have to work out how we're going to cover next week. But we'll be covering something, won't we?
We've been I don't know. We've been talking about doing like video game movies and shit a little bit. Bex, give us a couple of video game movies to watch.
Silent fucking Hill. Always Silent Hill. I don't know. I could suggest some. I could.
Have a day to think about it. Have a day to think about it, and then we'll announce it on the Twitter and the Instagram.
I could make you watch Doom, the film that is most freaky for the fact that Dwayne The Rock Johnson has hair.
I'll definitely watch Silent Hill. I've been looking for an excuse to watch that for fucking ages.
Silent Hill. What about we could watch both Silent Hills.
No, let's not. Let's watch something else.
Go on, Mark. You pick a fucking video game movie.
Ooh, video game movie. I'll have to have a think.
Not a movie based on fucking Sensible World of Soccer or anything bullshit.
There is a really good documentary about Sensible
We are
World
not watching that.
Oh, now hang on. If Becky, you've had a choice, so Mark gets a choice as well.
I'll have a think.
We could all suggest one. We could do 3.
Yeah, we're doing Street Fighter.
Street Fighter, nice.
Street Fighter.
Oh, my, yours could be DOA, Dead or Alive.
It might well be. Right, I'll have a think on mine. It's a big one, that one.
I don't know why. I don't know why I just came out with that. It just kind of like struggling for content a little bit next week, so why not?
Silent Hill, Street Fighter, and I will come up with one.
Nice.
And 3 Identical Strangers as the iTunes rental of the week. Good stuff. Right. Patreon.com/filmbastards, $2 a month. If you want more content, please do think about it. If not, it's all good. Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you very much, Becky.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Thank you very much.
And we'll get the fuck out of your ears. Speak to you next week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.